Hi everyone, sorry it's been a while since I've posted a video or an update on how I'm doing. I've just been focusing on recovery. I'm now into week 4, so that's 2 more weeks to go, and I've just been adjusting back to home life. In terms of recovery, it has had its challenges, but I was very lucky that most of my side effects from the treatment had subsided fairly quickly on returning home. At one point in London, I was taking 8 different medications to manage the pain, the side effects the treatment was causing. So thankfully, I think it was within the first week of being home, I'd managed to drop from the 8 different medications back to just the 4 or 5 meds that I take for the pain management. So that was something I was quite grateful of. So as we were prepared for and as we expected, the first 2 weeks of my recovery was difficult. I started feeling a lot worse than I did in London before I got better, but that was something we were warned about, and they did say that that's going to happen. So knowing that, we could prepare for it. So I was just extremely fatigued. I didn't have much of an appetite, and I was also having to contend with the damage caused to my skin because of the radiation. So as they fire over it, your skin heats up and it's almost like sunburn. Now, I know my hair's straight back today, but I'm ginger and have very ginger skin, so I'm very prone to getting sunburn. We did very well. They were very surprised with how well my skin was doing. They honestly thought like it was going to be awful. We were going to have to like stop because it was going to break and things like that. But it was only on the last day I had a blister. So I'd managed the whole time, and I had a blister develop over the final weekend. So I just had to do my last session with a little blister. That blister increased in size. It went to about that size on my back, on my spine. I'm not going to show you any pictures because it's really not nice. So I had to kind of deal with that being there, then popping, and the skin peeling and it being all raw. That was just, that added a lot of discomfort in terms of what I could wear comfortably, and the skin oozing and things like that. It's really not pretty. But obviously we just listened to what they said, applied lots of creams to it, 3 different creams to the area, and thankfully now into week 4 the skin is looking a lot better, and it just looks like I've fallen over and grazed myself, so that's really good. Adjusting to home life was a lot trickier than I expected it to be, and it took me 2 weeks to find the energy and courage to leave the house. I had a lot of anxiety about being out in public, and I think that's down to feeling a bit self-conscious about a change in my appearance and people seeing me, asking me how I am when I didn't really know myself how I was feeling. There's been a time since being home where I've had a meltdown over leaving the house, and that was bank holiday weekend. Myself, mum and dad had arranged to go away for the weekend, just an hour down the road in our caravan, and we would camp between Rock and Polzeth. It's somewhere I'd been camping since I could remember, and every year I'd do a walk down to Daymar Bay, see the sand dunes, see the beach, the water. I'd walk down to Rock, get the passenger ferry over to Padstow, and I'd go surfing every night down Polzeth. And I wasn't able to do that this year. Knowing people were walking down the path I would walk down every year, I couldn't do it. People going surfing every night, seeing people surfing in the water, I couldn't do that. And this is one of my favourite places ever, and I couldn't do what I would normally do, and I felt like I'd lost control over my situation. We very nearly didn't go for the weekend away, but we did. And I feel like I made the most of being there. Looking back, okay, I could have gone out a bit more, but in that moment, I didn't feel like I could. But that's okay, because I still overcame that obstacle of being away from home and the comfort of my four walls, and being somewhere where I couldn't do my normal activities, but I made it work. And one thing a mantra, if you like, we are going by now is ignore what you can't do, focus on what you can do. That meltdown actually led to me overcoming a milestone, and I think that's, on reflection, what I've got to focus on. So because of that, my confidence grew a little bit in knowing I can leave the house. I'm gonna be okay if I go somewhere. As long as I've got my meds, I'm all right. So I managed to see some friends for the first time in a couple of months, and I managed to just feel like me again, a bit of normality. And all that fear and anxiety I had in my head, I didn't need to worry about. Yes, that is still there, and I think it will always be there, but I know it doesn't have to stop me, and I think that's the really big message that I need to tell myself. I've got cancer, I've got limitations, but I can still do stuff. So being 4 weeks into recovery meant I had my 4-week follow-up with London. That was to explain the next stage, if you want, the next chapter of the journey. They informed me that they're handing care back to local, which would be Derriford for me, and that they would do my monitoring. I'd have annual updates with London because they still need to keep an eye on me because of having proton beam therapy, but all my monitoring and things will go through Derriford. So I'll be having a back MRI and chest x-ray in November, which will be 3 months post treatment. I will then have MRIs and chest x-rays every 6 months for 2 years. So May, November, May, November. At that point then we should hopefully see the effect the treatment has had, and it will probably then go to yearly scans. Obviously, we don't know if it's going to work yet, so if I experience any worsening of pain or symptoms or new things, I don't have to wait for the next kind of scan. I can let them know and they'll scan me quicker, because obviously that is a sign that things are growing. Timmy is growing, and Timmy is the name of the tumour, because why not name him? They were extremely happy with how everything went up there. They said I should be proud of myself for getting through it, because it was a lot. And they did say to take a positive. Now that positive is from day 1 to day 28. They scan me every single day I'm in for treatment. Timmy the tumour didn't change. He remained the same all the way through. So we've kind of reached the end of chapter 2 of my cancer journey, which feels a bit crazy. I would say now we're into chapter 3, which is monitoring and seeing if I can maybe get back to a new normal, and maybe do try new things that I never did before, and replacing dancing and things with other interests. I think I'm going to keep this up. Let me know if you think I should or shouldn't. Let me know if you want to see me do anything in particular, try anything, because I quite enjoy making these, even though I'm quite bad at updating regularly. I'm going to try and keep back to kind of every other week, because I think to show people that just because you've got cancer doesn't mean you can't do something. Like our new little mantra says, ignore what you can't do, focus what you can do. Yeah, thanks for watching, and here's chapter 3. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and click the bell for notifications of when I post.